Hamutal, thank you so much for being with us this morning at C-Suite at the Open. It's a pleasure to be able to speak with you.
Thank you for having me, and likewise, it's a pleasure to be here with you and to speak about ELSE.
It's such an exciting company. Can you give our viewers sort of an overview of ELSE Nutrition in general and the innovative food and nutrition products that you provide, not just for infants and toddlers, but children and adults?
Absolutely. So I could start with the most important value that ELSE brings to the infant nutrition universe, so-called, and that is choice. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are a multitude of brands, but they are all based on one livestock source, which is milk. So for the first time after over, I'd say, a century, we enable parents in North America to finally choose whether to feed their babies cow's milk or else plant baby formula. And we created and patented an alternative plant and soy-free formulation comprised from 3 whole food ingredients that meets the very strict nutritional definition of a baby formula and provides a human milk nutritional analog, actually. On top of that, or the second value that ELSE Nutrition, I don't think that's the secondary in importance, by the way, but this is the second that we provide, is a paradigm shifting method in our space, creating an all natural, healthier outcome, which only uses whole foods and only clean ingredients, versus like the broken and ultra processed ones which are used in our industry so far. So our groundbreaking processing method actually preserves whole food components with minimal processing, without the use of chemicals or solvents or any other artificial agents that make our foods unhealthy and are the source of many chronic diseases and cancers in the longer term. This is a well-known scientific fact. This method isn't used in any of the baby formulas worldwide. They only use separated and fractionated ingredients due to the fact that they need to create a human milk analog out of cow's milk, and this is enabled only through breaking down the ingredients and fractionating them. We found a different method to take plants and minimally process them into a human milk analog. So to sum up, these 2 critical value propositions are manifested in our baby nutrition products, but will also be an integral value or part of all our future portfolio to come, including, of course, adult nutrition and general foods.
Amazing. And with respect to new products and new segments, I would imagine, as you said, adult, what other new products or new segments is ELSE considering or looking at?
So, as mentioned, the unique value proposition that ELSE provides is critical for the maintenance of long-term health through nutrition. That's our basic or core value in this company. So being plant-based is very important part of this, but it's not sufficient in order to maintain long-term health. Nutrition has to be also balanced, clean, and minimally processed. In the food industry in general, you don't find these elements in a packaged goods product. I mean, if you take a cucumber, for example, or you take a fish or whatever is freshly eaten, fresh food, that's different. But if you're looking at CPGs, at consumer packaged goods, you don't find all these values packed in a single product. So having said that, we believe that ELSE has a very strong unique value proposition that can be highly attractive for many other target groups on top of the baby and toddler populations. So naturally, as we intend to dramatically enlarge our product portfolio in the young child space, which is quite obvious, we will launch already in 2021 additional products lines for babies from 6 months onwards, that's complementary nutrition, and also for kids from 3 years onwards. We also intend to start playing in the adult medical nutrition space. After that, we will also provide plant-based general foods, which will also be complete, balanced meal, clean and minimally processed, in all kinds of food categories. This is actually currently being developed in a lab scale, and later we'll be examining these type of products through the lens of, technological feasibility or organoleptic feasibility. I mean, the taste and texture of the product, as well as economical and competitive landscape of each category. And then we will take final decision to which categories we would go into with all these type of products. Currently, it's on a lab scale development. So that is the future of Else, and that's where Else intends to become. That's how Else becomes a global innovative nutrition company. That's how we intend to do though. And this will bring value products to many target groups, as I just mentioned.
Absolutely. So tons of opportunity for growth. You've kind of walked us through the key growth strategies in terms of verticals. How else might Else be creating value for your shareholders specifically?
Yeah, so I'd say that in the short and midterm, we're looking at top line revenue growth through activities like product line expansion in the baby and child nutrition, as well as the adult nutrition, as I just said, geographic expansion into multiple additional key geographies with multiple product lines, which will be based on the key successful go-to-market strategy already implemented in North America. But with one difference, we will partner with local distributors to expand instead of doing our own marketing and sales directly like we do in North America currently. So in the mid and long term, we are looking to at bottom line revenue growth through whether it is vertical integration by acquiring our own manufacturing capacity for end products, as well as for raw ingredients processing. And we also have patents on that. And second thing we would be looking at is economy of scale, of course, in raw ingredients purchasing, and of course efficiencies through economies of scale in the end product manufacturing. We're looking at strategic collaborations in future, possibly white labeling of certain products portfolios for which are not part of our core competence, like the infant and toddler. So maybe perhaps clinical nutrition or certain general foods that we would like to white label with other companies which have a very strong infrastructure for sales and marketing. And the last thing I can mention is additional value creation through widening and further elaboration of our IP portfolio, which would further maintain our protection of key elements in our value proposition for the longer term. These are the things I could think of right now.
Excellent. So what would the vision as a triple bottom line company, thinking about the economy, society, and the environment, be for Else Nutrition?
Yeah, triple bottom line company, or an ESG company as others may refer to, stands right at the intersection between the economical interests of its stakeholders and the overall societal and environmental interests of the global society, or for us as residents of this planet. And as much as it sounds as a used cliche, Else is already gravitating there very strongly. But we'll only grow more and more into that intersection by serving just these three elements in parallel as an imminent built-in value. We already discussed the instruments that Else is activating to maximize its economical value for its shareholders, like creating constant innovation and entrepreneurship in the nutrition space, and also increasing productivity. But we haven't discussed how at the same time, right at these moments, we are also improving lives of thousands of babies and toddlers, which are our customers across North America, by creating a better for you nutrition We're talking about parents that are describing healing effects of their kids who didn't tolerate the cow milk and have had all kinds of allergic symptoms or failed to thrive, had behavioral issues for months until they shifted to Else Nutrition due to the fact that they really didn't sleep well and did not tolerate, the foods were not tolerated and not absorbed in their bodies. So we are providing a plant-based, whole food, clean nutrition versus what is found in the market. And that's what makes the difference for them. We're also, on top of that, we're active participants in all kinds of feeding programs for the ones in need, and work hand in hand with the grocery chain stores that we are selling in our products to provide that. So we actually intend to enlarge and scale that activity by enabling not only those who can afford our nutrition, but also the ones who can't afford it to have it as part of our donation or our activity in the community. On the environmental side, needless to mention that we provide greener products, being the most sustainable company in our space or in our industry, which is infant nutrition. We're using plants instead of livestock ingredients, while also saving energy and enhancing resource efficiency through minimally processing our ingredients. So as we go by, as we move forward, we will even try to distill those values and try to distill those activities to learn what really works for people, what works for our society, and better have our very specific, unique contribution to our society and to our planet, as well, of course, not forgetting our stakeholders.
Such an incredible business, and a tremendous impact on society, and a feel-good story. Thank you so much for sharing with all of our viewers and investors, potential investors, the business case for looking at Else. And congratulations on all that you're accomplishing. Quite an innovative story. And we look forward at Toronto Stock Exchange to welcoming you again to C-Suite at the Open and following your journey. So thank you for being with us, Hamutal.
Thank you so much for having me. And I will be looking forward to meet again and tell you more about our achievements and progress in North America and globally.
Thank you.